Hello, John Talley here with Partzilla.com, and as you can tell, we've been doing quite a bit of work to our 2005 Honda CRF450R. Now today, it's going to be a fun day because we finally get to put some new shoes on this machine. Now I could have gone back with just the factory OEM sprockets and rims and whatnot, but we decided not to do that. So let me show you what we did order up and we're going to put on the machine today. We kind of swung for the fence here, guys. We ordered a set that are assembled by a company called W. And what they do is you tell them what you want and they will build up whatever type of configuration that you want to use. I chose the Excel rims along with the Talon hubs, along with some very stout spokes that they've laced up and balanced for us. Now to dress these out, we're using the OEM rotors, but we are going to go with a set of sprockets from Renthal. Now the great part of the W system, they build it to spec and they send you all the necessary mounting bolts, spacers, everything that you need to put it together. Now I also have new tire clamps along with, of course, new tubes and these inner strips. Now the tires, they're pretty special as well. I chose a set of Pirellis to go on this particular machine. Now they're set up for the soft compound, so they should do really well in sandy conditions. Well, now that we've got all our parts assembled, let me go open up my toolbox and we'll dive into this. All right, guys, we're going to start with the front wheel. And really the only thing we have to mount to it is, of course, the brake disc. And W actually gives you the hardware necessary to mount it up. We're going to add a little bit of blue Loctite, and then we're going to torque these to 8 foot-pounds. That's the real magic with this company. Do I know how to mount up a set of rims and balance them? Sure. We actually have a video that shows you how to do that. But when you order these, they're already ready to go and torque to spec, and that makes it really easy to get them on the machine because all you have to do is mount up the sprocket or a brake disc and then put on a tire and it's ready to go. Now that saves you from having to invest in a wheel truing stand. I mean, if you're going to do a lot of these, yeah, go ahead and learn the art. But if you just need them for your own machine, why not take advantage of their services? All right, guys, what we're going to do is get all these snug down. Now I do want to make note, the disc is directional, so you need to note which way the drive is pointing. And that should be facing out, of course, and it shows the rotation of the disc itself. Okay, then we're going to torque them to 8 foot-pounds. Now let's go ahead and get some high-performance grease and go ahead and pack the seals. Now the bearings, they're good to go, but you do want to go ahead and fill the gap in between the bearing and the seals. With that in place, go ahead and put in our spacers, and these are, of course, machine specific. There we go. Now we're going to put this one to the side, go bring over our rear wheel and get it set up with its sprocket and brake disc, then we'll come back and install the tire. Let's start off with our sprocket, and the one I've chosen to go with is actually a set from Renthal. Of course, we're just working with the rear one today, but its counterpart will be mounted to the engine once it actually gets put in the frame. Now the hardware I'm using, it comes with the package when we ordered it from W, and they actually send locking type nuts, so we're not going to have to use any blue locking agent in getting this done. We're just going to snug these down, then we're going to come back and torque them to 24 foot-pounds. Now here's the real trick. It's impossible to get our torque wrench up in here to torque the bolts, and you can't torque them from the top because of the friction on the sprocket itself. So how do we get to it? Well, we use this little guy right here. You attach this to a standard wrench, then we can reach in there, grab the nut, and get it torqued. Neat little device from Motion Pro. I use it often. Now, if you don't have one in your toolbox already, you really need one. You just don't know it. Now these need to be torqued to 24 foot-pounds. That's what you want it to look like, 90 degrees. And then as long as you've got your torque wrench at 90 degrees, it doesn't matter what distance this is. That's all of them. And now our brake disc. Now this one is not directional, but I prefer to put the stamped numbers showing the minimum thickness facing outwards. We'll use the blue Loctite on these and then torque them to 8 foot-pounds. 8 foot-pounds coming up. Now we go ahead and pack our seals with grease, and then our spacers are stamped as to which side they go on. And that one says disc. Then we get over to the other side, pack it, and this one is stamped sprocket, or S-P-R-O. All right guys, now they are both ready to get the tires mounted up. So let's roll this out of the way, bring over our tire station, and finish up this project. We're going to put it into the tire station with our brake disc down. That'll actually give us more room with our tire irons where we can go down further. Now this doesn't need to be tight, we just want to hold it in place. Let's start out by getting our rim clamp. All right, straight through there. And we're just going to put a few turns on this. Now, of course, just get it started. Next, we're going to get in our rim strap, because without it, those spoke nipples would end up going through the tube, and guess what? You're going to end up with a flat tire. And we're going to line up just one of the holes here, because that will be where our tube valve comes through. Okay. Next, see if your tire is directional. Find our rotation. Rotor's on our left, so we're rotating this way, so this should be the direction we need to mount it. Next, we're going to inflate our tube, but just slightly. I'm talking maybe 1 or 2 pounds. We just don't want it flat, because if you try to mount it with it flat, chances are when you put those tire tools in there and to pry into it, you're going to grab that instead of the rim. And then guess what? You get to do all of this over again after you order another tube. That's about all we want right there. That should do it. Go ahead and cram this inside of the tire. Alright, now the next important part, we'll start on this side first. We need to spray especially this edge with some tire lube. Now, I want to be very clear about this. Tire lube is not the same as like a silicone lubricant. You do not want to use this. This will actually aid in seating the tire and holding it still. This would make the tire try to rotate on the rim, and that's what you don't want. So resist the temptation to pull this off of your bench in order to correct stuff. All right, we can go ahead and put a little on the top and just add some more later if she decides to fight us. Now here's what you're after. We want to go ahead and bring the tube down first and get it fed through here. At that point, we can start working our tire around in small bites, if you will. And like we did on the rim clamp, We just want to get a couple of turns on the bolt because we want it to stay up into the tire. So that right there should do it. And we're going to push down as much as we can by hand. And what we're aiming for is to put this area here down into this channel, because that will allow the tire to shift over to where we can get this edge over to the rim. Now for this, for getting the rest of the tire on, I usually like using a smaller set of tire irons. We're getting close. I'm doing this in 3 or 4 inch bites. Come on. So close. Get that last little edge to go over. Make sure we're in that groove. We'll take a look at this. All right, guys, I'm going to flip it over real quick and take care of our rim lock. There we go. Now let's flip it back, see if we can get that other bead in. So we'll go ahead and start it at the bead lock and then work our way around. As you're doing this, keep pushing the tire down to where it goes into that groove, if you want to call it that. Now you want to take your time when you're doing this, because we do not want to scratch this rim. Here's where a third tire iron comes in really handy. There we go. We want to center our tube, but actually that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and seat our bead. All right, guys, what I've done is run it up to about 55, 60 PSI. That's just to make sure that our bead has seated all the way around. Now I've checked both sides, everything looks good. Now we're going to bring it down to 33 PSI. Oh, there it is, 33. I don't hear any leaks. That's a good sign that I did not pinch a tube, so I think we're good to go. Last order of business is to tighten up our rim clamp. Well, all right, guys, there you go. One down, one to go, same procedure. That looks centered. Let's get our tire set up. There's our rotation, and we want to be going that way. You can also look at the tread pattern, especially on this one. So that is the way she's supposed to spin. That edge digging in. Same as before. Let's get a little air in the tube. All right. Okay, let's get this guy on there. Tell you what, I think we're going to go ahead and aim for our rim lock first, because we need to go over it. So close. There we go. Now, let's go get our rim lock. Same game as before. Let's do this, because I don't want to scratch this rim. There she goes. All right. Same deal. We're going to start with the rim lock, where we're not trying to fight it later. There we go. Small bites. Now, if you're worried about scratching your rims, use these. But I can tell you these rims they're coated really well. So I'm not really in any danger right now. It's just getting that last little bit when it starts to get really tight that you run a risk. Just make sure you've got it hooked all the way over the edge before you pull. You're going. Thank you. Having that lube on there makes all the difference. Let's put some air in there and see what we got. Run it up to about 45, then bring it down to 34. That should do it. She's already seated. With that lube, there's no dramatic pop. It just slides into position. All right, guys, I don't hear her leaking, so we are good to go. So we're going to set it to 34. All right, there it is. You better come here. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video, although I still have a tremendous amount of work to do on this particular machine. And hey, if you'd like to see that happen, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when we drop the next video. Well, listen, if you need any parts for your machine, come see us at Partzilla.com and we can get you taken care of. And if you have any questions or comments about this particular video, leave them in the section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Listen, we just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at Partzilla, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.